Welcome back to the Lead Block. I'm Nick Hartlow, my co-host.
Jack Erdogan.
And Dylan Fearon.
And today we're going to be talking all about the college football playoffs and looking ahead to the season as spring workouts start with teams all across the country. So we're going to talk about who the top 4 teams are going to be. So I think it seems like the consensus number one team almost every year. I'm going to say Alabama, and I don't know if anyone's going to really disagree with that, but that's what I think is the team. It seems like every year they just dominate.
I agree with you on Alabama. I think Clemson did take a step back from last year, obviously with missing Deshaun Watson and Mike Williams. Some the strength of their offense going, I feel like they're going to take a step back. So I think Alabama can rightfully claim number 1 spot.
Clemson is going to be trash next year. Absolutely trash. Alabama, clearly one of the best 4 teams in the country. You can't count out a Nick Saban team who just continues to rebuild and reload every single year. I think USC is going to be right there at the number 2 spot competing for the national championship with Sam Darnold, tremendous quarterback who we saw a glimpse of last year, the tail end of last year. He's going to make a big impact. And then again, I mean, just some of the top teams in the country consistently that you can't ever count out, like a Michigan, like a Notre Dame. Teams that are always going to be in that area. Penn State is going to be really strong next year. There are always going to be about 7 or 8 teams that you can see in the college football playoff in that top 4 heading into the season with spring workouts going on. Eventually, we'll narrow that down to 4, 5, and 6. But right now, it's going to be about 8 or 9 you can see in that final 4.
I think there are 2 real strong teams in the Big 12. We got Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Obviously, the Big 12 is bringing back the championship game this year. They don't have division, so it's just going to be the top 2 teams fighting it out. In my opinion, I think the winner of the Big 12 championship, Oklahoma State, will make it into the playoff. I don't know.
It's hard to put an Oklahoma in there now that Bob Stoops is out. A new coach, a different system, different kind of lifestyle pretty much. It's going to be hard to say that team's going to be in the Final Four without, a long-tenured head coach who has won before at Oklahoma. But I think, again, Alabama, USC, Penn State are clear-cut 3 of the best teams in the country right now. Has to be.
100% agree with that.
I think Oklahoma, I think that even though they did lose their head coach and they lost 2 running backs, which is a big blow, I don't know if they can make it top 4, but I think they definitely could make a bowl game run, could win a bowl game. Baker Mayfield's been one of the best and most consistent quarterbacks over the last few years, and even though he has some, if you include his acting, he has some kind of police disputes, things like that, and that's really not good. It's not something you want to have for your quarterback. That's going to be the head of your franchise and head of your team. But I think if he can stay healthy and he can stay out of the spotlight and stay out of the limelight of the police and different things like that, I think he definitely can lead this team. So he's an X factor. He's definitely an X factor.
For sure, of course, but it used to be, just the national championship game with 2 teams. It was always like, oh, the 3rd team should have gotten in, and there was a case. Now that it's 4, it's always that 5th team's going to be a case.
Yeah.
If they go to 8, then it's the 9th team. It's like, oh, we should have been in. So every single time there's going to be someone. I think Oklahoma's the type of team that could be that 5th team that was like, oh, we should have gotten in, we should have gotten in. But I think you have the 3 teams of Alabama, USC, and Penn State. They're clear cut right now. If the season, ended today, those would be the 3 best. Or started today, that'd be the 3 best teams.
For sure. I think you can make an argument for Florida State. They have
always.
They have a sophomore quarterback in DeAndre Francois, who had a pretty good freshman season last year. They're strengthening their offensive line, trying to create a new identity. DeAndre Francois got sacked a lot last year. I think with a little bit more time in the pocket, he can make some good throws to one of the best wide receiver cores in the NFL, in the college football.
One of the strengths of being in the ACC is that you're not going up against the power every single game, like when you're in the Big Ten, like when you're in the SEC. So the fact that they have an easier schedule and they can kind of run to the table and force the committee to put them in the top 4, I think that's an advantage. I think they could be that team that sneaks in at that spot.
Definitely a dark horse team. I could think maybe. I think the SEC is definitely going to be Alabama. I think there's no question Alabama's going to roll through the FCC. But I think a dark horse team could be Florida because you got a quarterback that had a lot of success at Notre Dame for a while before Deshaun Kaiser, so he transfers over to Florida, and then Florida also has one of the best defenses in all of the FCC. So if their offense can be more consistent, I think they could make a bowl game appearance. You never know. Florida could be a surprise team.
It's just always tough to ask for 2 teams in the same conference to be in that Final Four. Usually you like to see it. There's an SEC team, a Big Ten, an ACC, and a Big 12, or even a Pac-12. We can't count the Pac-12 like an Oregon, like a UCLA, of course USC in the Pac-12. So usually a Big Ten, a Pac-12,
Very true.
an SEC and an ACC usually, compile the Final Four.
Very true.
You never know. Once the season comes around, anything can change. But thank you for joining us. This is the Lead Block. I'm Nick Hart.
I'm Jack Erdion.
And I'm Dylan Fearon.
Have a good night.